Well, I did a little thrifting today. Picked this up for $8.50, which may be a waste of $8.50, but I got it anyway. I kind of like old vintage test equipment, and this is an Accurate Instruments company. Some type of tester. It's called, even has the manual. It's called a utility tester, model 161. And it's got some leads here. It's got a line cord spot, which I don't have that. It didn't come with it. Here's a little connector, looks like for back of a picture tube on a TV. It's got a Loctite octal 9 and 7 pin sockets, pin straighteners. Now I took a quick look through the manual, and it looks like all these tube sockets are just filament testers. That's all it's checking, is just for continuity on the filament. So not very valuable. And it looks like it does do some voltage measurements and maybe some current measurements. And resistance, apparently. I'm not sure how you do that. So it looks like just a VOM of some type. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up and see what the guts look like. Apparently there was some type of battery in there at one time, so I'm sure that's shot. Let's see what it looks like on the inside. Alright, here's the unit opened up, and it does have apparently the original 7.5 volt battery still inside of it. It's got 0 volts in it, of course. Nearest I can tell from what I've seen on the Radio Museum website, this is from around 1960. The meter itself does work. I plugged it into my dim bulb tester and measured the AC volts. It's way off. It's only reading about 170 or something like that. Instead of, well, no, it's actually, it's well under like 90 volts instead of 120. But I'll go ahead and measure some of these resistors and see if they're out of spec. They probably are. But at least the meter's good itself, and I'm not sure what to do about the battery. I guess that's used for measuring resistance. And the little manual does have a schematic in it, so I'll be able to go through and check this out. Still a cool piece of, we'll call it late 50s, early 60s VOM technology. Alright, get this hooked up to my dim bulb tester. Flip it on. And you can see it's reading right out about, what, 90, 100, 110 volts. It's actually 120 volts coming out of the line, so it's down a little bit. Now there's this little, well, again, the circuit right now is this 150 volt, this 1400 ohm resistor. It's reading about 1500. And then this little compensation resistor here, which I think is a little bit out of whack. I'll take the desolder that in measurement, but looks like there's a range in there called a calibration resistor. I guess you adjust that to get the reading to be accurate. Again, this is just AC volts. I'm not sure how it does DC volts. I really don't see a rectifier in there anywhere, but I say it does, so I'll look at it a little bit more. Alright, I put this thing back together again. This little, I'll call it a VOM. Interesting little utility tester. The Accurate Instrument Company called it, but it does measure AC voltage. It's a little off on the measurement, and here's a DC voltage measuring a battery. Boy, that needle has no dampening at all. Look at it bounce around. But if you look real close, you can see that that is reading right at about 12.5 volts, which is about what this battery's putting out. So pretty limited use. DC range is only 0 to 15. Then AC is 0 to 150 or 0 to 300. And the resistance measurement will just be 0 to about 1K full scale. Now the resistance, of course, I can't use because I need the battery, and that battery's dead. It's a 7.5 volt battery, so I'll have to figure out what to do there. But I might try a 9 volt battery with some resistors to get the right value. And again, these tube sockets are just measuring filament continuity, so it's pretty useless. You can do that with any modern meter. So this is a limited use but kind of a cool piece of vintage gear. But if you really want something to be accurate and somewhat usable, here's a Heathkit VTVM that you can get for basically free. I think I got them for $10 or something like that. Maybe this one. I think this one was free that somebody gave me. So I'd go this route rather than this route, but it's a cool old piece of vintage test gear that I'll add to the collection. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.